what's up, you guys? It's your girl, DJ Jiji Sweet, and we are hanging out with my man, Brian Fury, representing all the way. East Coast is in the building. Brooklyn is in the building. My man, Brian Fury, what's cracking?
What up? What's going on? How you doing, Jiji?
Oh, man, you know, it's crazy out here, right? Times are crazy. The COVID kind of hit us all. What's going on out there in your neck of the woods?
I think the cases increased, so they're holding out at phase 2 right now. Extended. I can't even remember the date. I think it's extended till August, sometime mid-August, I think.
How has the COVID caused you to have to pivot in the fashion of how you promote your music?
It has, keep it on it. Like, most of my promotion is online or word of mouth, so it really hasn't affected me because I'm still in touch with the same people, and I'm still putting music out. Like, I just don't release everything all the time right away. Sometimes it takes a minute because I'm like one of those perfectionists, so everything got to be perfect and all that kind of good stuff.
Right. Well, I think that's the artist, right? I'm an artist and I'm serious about my. I think that was Eric Badu, right? World Breaker Fury, he is the featured artist of the month at GGSweet.com, and the new single Sparks and Explosions is out July 23rd. We got a 9-song EP. Talk a little bit about why you guys picked that as the first single.
I just felt like it had a lot of marketing value. It's something that's relatable. A lot of people can relate to. Touches up on a lot of things on a relationship nature when you first meet somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's always that. Not always, but a lot of times, when you click, right. Sometimes you click so hard that it's like you went way too fast, and then that's pretty much where
Right, I feel you on that. And you know what? The thing about it is a lot of MCs, they don't really come with like the hip-hop love story. And I think, we always need a little bit of that because hip-hop speaks to the ladies as well. You have a lot of female fans that really felt this record right here?
I got a lot of friends. But, I did a lot of hard stuff. Like in the beginning, it was, when you're a kid and you're growing up, you're a tough guy. Everyone's a tough guy. So, you're trying to do that hard shit. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to make a name for yourself that way. And we kind of came up doing that. And we still do that too. But, it's time to kind of diversify.
I definitely. I think when you're coming up, you're trying to show people that, you're hard, and then you kind of soften up. And then I think as you get a little bit older, you're trying to find a balance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the hard.
You gotta find a balance.
It's like a time and a place for that. You know what I'm saying? So like when you get older, you start realizing like trying to be that hard ass dude all the time, like 24/7. It's like that shit wears on you. Start to look older. It's like, yo, just chill out, man. Just stop being angry all the time. Stop trying to show off to everybody, whatever your cause is.
Right.
But with with everything going on, a lot of people's funding is cut. So all that grassroots stuff you was just talking about ain't really going down like the way it normally would be. So
excellent point.
Everyone's diversifying. You got all these mainstream artists actually reaching out to us little people, and it's like, why? They charging like $500 for mixtape slots and stuff like that. So that's they hustling that way.
I think the live part will come back. I think, though, right now, if you're not performing live, you definitely need to work online to promote and also to grow the people that's going to finally come back. You know what I mean? It's an excellent time for people to sit here and grow their audience. You know what I mean? Because when it does come back, you're definitely going to need an onslaught of people coming, to check out the shows, to offset a bunch of that insurance money they're going to have to put out there. You know what I mean? Folks out there going to different shows that were canceled because of the COVID. I mean, there was a couple of artists out there that were on their second round. I think Janet Jackson was about to come back out on her tour, with Live Nation, and ended up having to cancel it. You know what I mean? Big time artists, And so it's gonna be a different world out there once the performance part starts to come back.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too, because like I could only imagine like the boom that the business that's gonna create as far as like people flooding the gates to get into them concerts. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be a good look, though. I think folks gonna be so itching to go see something. You know what I mean?
A lot of people bored right now. Ain't too much you can do, and whatever you can do is like limited because of rules.
We're talking to my man Brian Fury, representing off the East Coast. Big shouts out to everybody representing with us. And one of the great things I think that did come out of the COVID was the versus battles. We have Snoop Dogg and DMX. We had Jadakiss, Fab. Talk a little bit about some of the versus battles, some of your thoughts, and who you would pick to be in the next one.
That last one you mentioned, though, I gotta check. I have not actually seen that. I gotta go check that out. I've been slacking on my keeping up to date with some stuff because I've just been a little out of it lately. But those are like two of my favorite artists. Like those, especially Jadakiss. Like that was definitely an inspiration for me. Like just the bars, the knowledge that was spit, and then Fabo, legendary bars, bro. That dude is nasty. They did the last mixtape they did. They both killed it. Like the last mixtape they did together, I think it was like that came out like 2018, sometime November. Versus Jason.
Okay.
Fire. So yeah, definitely two of my favorite artists right there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when I first started doing I've been doing mixtapes and mix CDs for a long time, and I had a bunch of series. I had a Rough Rider series. I had a series called Certified Dope, and Jadakiss was on the Rough Rider series when they first picked them up. Remember, because they, supposedly like they was too hard for the shiny suit movement of the Bad Boy clique, right? So when they went over to Rough Riders, it was like a whole new look. To be someone that's been in hip hop a long time and remember that moment, I really felt it. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Fab. His style is just a little bit different. You know what I mean? But one of his hardest records was that Breathe record. Remember that record? That was a hard record.
I remember that one, but it wasn't one of my favorites though. He's got some ill stuff. Even the Summertime Shootout 3 he just dropped was fire.
Yeah, but he came out with when he had a kind of a little bit of a commercial success. He had the big record with Pharrell and the Neptunes. That kind of moved him a little bit to where more people kind of knew about him on a commercial tip. You know what I mean?
Popping on radios.
Right? The plans this year in 2020 had the COVID not hit.
I mean, pretty much doing them right now. They ain't really stopped me yet. Ain't nobody really offered me no major money to do no gigs, and obviously that shut down. So this was the initial plan from the gate anyway to get this started. And I've been working on this project since like January.
Okay. So
it's been in a few months. It's been months in the making. Between writing, getting stuff mixed and mastered, and all that. It took about at least a good 3-4 months. It's been ready for about a month or so.
And I think that's a good point because everybody I've talked to, sometimes you need a moment to just sit down and work on some things, you know what I mean? And right now is a great time for you, like you said, work on your internet stuff, work on your social media presence. If you were going on tour, okay, well, maybe you didn't have all the sponsors that you wanted. Work on getting sponsors in those cities. When we talked to my man, Crook Rock, he was up in Boston, he was saying that he was working on a 10-city tour, right? And that kind of got, pushed to the side, but I was like, hey, this give you opportunity to collect up some more money and get some more folks on your team. You know what I'm saying?
What's he doing? Like, was he just like they just cut he can't perform? That was it? Was a 10-city tour? Was he headed?
Yeah, they were doing like a 10-city tour, Northeast tour. So, Philly, Boston, upstate New York, and he was like, we were getting it together, but of course the different venues, because it's not just about you. The venues shut down. Obviously, even if the venues are open, the people still have to come. This real talk, right?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, ain't nobody You got some people that don't care. They ain't wearing their mask. They don't care. They'll show up. They'll show up. And then next thing you know, they on Donkey of the Day. So, you played yourself.
North Carolina, I see you're a big Charlemagne the God fan.
I keep up, He say a lot of controversial stuff, but I think he educated.
Represent for BlackOps Militia Records. And how did you hook up with BlackOps Militia Records?
So that's an interesting story. So a lot of the music I've been doing the last two and a half years, since like the beginning of 2018, has been with the homie Shiesty, Bugatti Shiesty Red. Shout out to him. He's on a lot of my music. He's up there in the Bronx right now. That's like my main man. That's my go-to, my partner. Like we killing it on the tracks. And we got several mixtapes that we released since we decided to start working with each other. He actually threw the idea late 2017 at me. So late 2017, I was still working on some solo stuff. So early 2018, we started working on a joint collabo. So we released 3 mixtapes in the span of like 2 years. We just dropped the last one about, I think, a year ago.
Okay.
About 2019 this time.
Okay.
And because he knows a lot of people out there too. So, he turned a lot of heads, and we both turned a lot of heads with those mixtapes. So we used to network on this. I'm getting to the question. So we was networking on New York Underground Radio. Shout out to them.
Okay.
It was a popping thing, kind of like a platform where you join, kind of like a Facebook, almost like a social media.
Yeah.
But every 2 days a week, they would have live shows. And anyone who would log in and show up in the chat room, they will play your music as long as you submitted it to them. They'll play it free, and then you could donate to them or whatever. So we all kind of clicked and linked up on there. So that's how I actually met Shiesty. I met a few other people. I met Minx Couture. Shout out to Minx on the Minx show. It's one of my homegirls right there. We all linked through that, and we kind of like kept in touch even after New York Underground Radio kind of stopped their live shows. We kept in touch. So how I met Tick Tick from BlackOps through Shiesty. How he met them, that's a story for y'all. Y'all going to have to ask that because I don't even know that story.
Uh-oh.
Matter of fact, you know what? It's phone call time.
We talking about my man Brian Fury. Now, you made your way actually down to North Carolina. They got a bunch of hot MCs out there, including your man J. Cole. How did that move come about?
North Carolina, you meet people, and then you just, you make stupid moves sometimes that you probably shouldn't have made, but it turned out to be for the, the better at the end of the day.
I see a lot of people migrating though from up north to down south. Do you feel like there's a quality of life that they're looking for that they can't exactly get like in the big city?
Yo, listen, so yeah, y'all, for whoever don't know, I'm originally from Brooklyn. And when I used to hear my father preach that, like, as a kid, I can't wait to move to Florida. I can't wait to move somewhere else. And it never happens. Or it happened. It eventually happened. He moved to, like, Pennsylvania or something. But, like, everyone wants to get out of Florida. And as a kid, you think that's crazy. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. But when you get older, you start realizing, like, yo, everything's so fucking expensive out here for no reason. Like, why?
Because they can.
It's like the rent, what you would pay for rent out there. I probably shouldn't even say this because now everyone's going to want to move down. But, for what you pay for rent in New York, you can get the
hustle and bustle. Like every time I go to New York, I think to myself, I can live here because I'm a hustle girl, of course.
You're making at least, if you're single and you're making $50,000 a year with no car, you'll be all right if you're in the city. You don't really need a car for the city. Technically, there's trains, buses and shit. They take you everywhere. Well,
right.
You're trying to live like you want a car, you want to live nice and comfortable. Like you're gonna need at least 80 to 100 grand better.
Yeah, how much is it for a parking space? Because I know if you got a car, you need a parking space in the city to be able to park it somewhere, right?
I think monthly, probably like around 300 a month.
Yeah.
For a parking space, like you go to a garage or something like that.
That's just for the space. That's the car payment.
Unless you're lucky enough to find, parking. Some people double park for the night and they get lucky and they shit don't get told.
We're talking to my man Brian Fury. He is the featured artist of the month at JijiSweet.com. Check out his IG. Also check out the links at JijiSweet.com. Now we're talking to my man Brian Fury. What are your thoughts on the state of hip hop today? You know, we had a couple things happen last week with Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez. You know, I mean, it's a lot going on. What were your thoughts when that situation touched down? Oh, you look like somebody's grandma. Oh.
It's just because the headline that I saw the next day, like Tory Lanez suspected of shooting Megan Thee Stallion, and now people are saying that the rumors are going out that he shot her because he found out she's a dude. It's like it's just crazy.
I didn't see that one.
I'm dead with all that.
Oh, I saw the one where he said that she pulled a blade on me or something. And they was like, is that a scene out of Harlem Nights? And I told her I was going to shoot her in the toe.
Like, stop playing. Like, what do you need to shoot her? I'm not saying he shot her. I don't know. I wasn't there. So, you know, I couldn't even say, like, I'm not going to go ahead with the headlines and just go ahead and condemn the man. Like, he probably didn't even do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got to prove that shit.
Well, I mean, just talk about a little bit about how, you know, the social media right now can really make or break a career when you have all these people out here putting out false narratives and whatnot and posting different things. You have all these bloggers and vloggers out here adding to some of the situations. What are your thoughts on that?
People with too much time on their hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is to me. It's like, come on, do something better. That's my opinion on that. Like,
we're talking to my man Brian Fury, Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez. Those are some big stories last week in the world of hip hop. But his project includes a couple new singles, a couple hot records that I've been playing. Break It Down and Caught the Glow. Talk a little bit about those singles on your EP.
Caught the Glow. I did. Let me see. That one was produced by, I want to say Benihana. I think that was Benihana beat. That is featuring Rashida Wallace. Shout out to her. Very sweet. Very nice personality right there. That's another one of my homeboy Shiesty's peoples.
Mm-hmm.
She's on the song. She does the last verse, and she filled it in. Basically, I sent Shiesty the song. Mm-hmm. And Shiesty was feeling it, you know, and he kind of felt the same way, like, yo, we need to diversify and start doing more, you know, softer music, you know, something more melodic. On me, or the people that didn't stun on me, it's like they lose their drive. You know what I'm saying? They lose their drive. They don't want to come to the studio no more.
You know what I mean? I definitely think it's gonna part the sea. It's gonna cut the cake. You know, it's gonna really see who's got what. Give it 6 months, you're really gonna see, you know, who's got something and who's been fronting. Like you said, the internet is one of those things. You know.
I don't know, Jiji. I don't know. These cats got a way of making their life, no matter how bad shit is, they just make their life look glorious somehow. They got the right cameraman. They got the right camera. They got that HD, that super HD going on, 3D, whatever. So they still gonna try to look like they popping regardless, even if they're not relevant. That's it. And regular people do. It's not even just celebrities do that. Like regular people do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I've learned a bunch of tricks that are going on the internet right now. I've learned about a few things that, you know, I didn't know because I wasn't really all on social media as much, you know, as far as just like posting what I post and do what I do. But when you really start looking, like we got a lot of time on our hands right now. So you're looking at the internet all the time. You're looking at these streaming services and it's a whole lot going on, right?
shoot, I got bored. I started going to the racetrack. I had to do something, go to the range or something.
Snoop Dogg versus battle coming, and tell me who your top three MCs all time. Top three.
Damn, you had to do that to me. Top three. You didn't even give me no leeway, nothing.
Okay, you get top five. Top five. How about that?
Top five. All right, top five. Dead or alive?
Top five, dead or alive.
Dead or alive. Definitely. Let me see. Biggie, Nas, Jadakiss, Fabo, and Busta Rhymes. Those I'll have to.
Oh, Busta Rhymes. Okay, he's always an interesting character, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But anyway.
I love Busta Rhymes. I saw him in Puerto Rico one year, and I loved him before then. But then I was a believer. I became a believer because he's one of those guys that he can have a record on the radio or not, like Sugar Free, right? But you go to his show. His show is off the chain, 100% energy for 2 hours. You know what I mean? And I think really, if you've seen him live and you see Spliff Star as the backup MC, as the guy on the mic with him going back and forth, you really see the value of a Spliff Star. You know what I mean? And not trying to, I gotta be the star. I gotta be this guy. But I'm the other guy, making him hype, keeping the crowd hype. What you think?
I mean, shit, you can just look at his music videos and tell he's a performer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, him and Eminem had that same kind of silly vibe in their music videos.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can see that coming out and doing all that crazy. The man's in shape, so the man probably eat diesel and shit, so he probably got all the energy for that.
Our final thoughts from Brian Fury, representing with your girl DJ Jiji Sweet.
Yo, I appreciate you hitting me up. Shout out to BlackOps. Shout out to Shiesty. Shout out to Minx. Shout out to everyone that supported me and continues to support me. I appreciate y'all. One love. Reach out to me anytime y'all want at Brian Fury Music, Twitter or IG, don't matter. Or you can check out my website on BrianFuryMusic.com.